What if I told you that one of the best things you could do for your brain is absolutely nothing? No scrolling, no podcasts, no Netflix. Just sitting there, bored. Sounds terrible, right? But stick with me, because science says boredom might actually be a superpower. And most of us are accidentally destroying it every single day. Welcome back. Today we're talking about boredom. Not as a problem to fix, but as a tool your brain desperately needs. By the end of this video, you'll never look at the quiet moment the same way again. Part 1. What actually happens in your brain when you are bored? So first, let me explain what even is boredom. Boredom happens when your brain isn't getting enough stimulation. It starts to feel restless, kind of itchy. You want something to happen, but nothing is. And here's where it gets interesting. When you are bored, your brain doesn't just shut off. It actually switches into a special mode called Default Mode Network, or DMN for short. Think of it like your brain's background program. In this mode, your brain starts doing something remarkable. It wanders. It daydreams. It starts connecting random dots, like memories, ideas, emotions, things that don't normally talk to each other. This is where creativity lives. Studies from neuroscientists at places like the University of York found that people in bored state came up with more creative ideas than people who were busy or entertained. Your brain basically uses boredom as free time to play. Part 2. Boredom and productivity. Now, let's talk about productivity, because this one surprises people. We think being busy equals to being productive. But busyness and productivity are not the same thing. When you're constantly consuming social media, emails, videos, your brain never gets a chance to process what it already knows. It's like trying to digest food while someone keeps stuffing more in your mouth. Boredom gives your brain time to digest. That's when you suddenly remember something important. Or you finally figure out a solution to a problem you've been stuck on. Ever had a great idea in the shower? That's boredom at work. In fact, researchers had participants do a boredom task, like copying numbers from a phone book, before a creativity test. Compared to people who did something fun, the bored group performed significantly better. Why? Because their brains were already in the wandering mode. Already making connections, already warming up. Part 3. We're killing our boredom and it's costing us. Here's the problem. We've made boredom basically extinct. Waiting in line? Grab your phone. Commercial break? Open Instagram. Lying in bed? TikTok until you pass out. We treat every quiet moment like a crisis to be solved. But every time we do that, we're robbing our brain of its recovery time. It's creative time. It's figure stuff out time. Think about some of the most brilliant minds in history, like Einstein, Newton, Darwin. They all talked about taking long walks, staring out windows, doing nothing. That wasn't laziness. That was part of their process. We've basically handed our brains an iPhone and said, never stop, never rest, never be bored. And then we wonder why we feel mentally exhausted, uncreative, and stuck. Part 4. How do you actually use boredom? Okay, so how do you bring boredom back into your life in a useful way? Number 1. Create a phone-free zones. Pick 1 or 2 moments in your day. Your morning coffee, a walk, your commute, and go phone-free. Just exist. Let your brain wander. Number 2. Don't fight the boredom. When it kicks in, resist the urge to reach for something. Sit with the discomfort for a few minutes. Your brain will start doing its thing naturally. Number 3. Do boring tasks on purpose. Washing dishes, folding laundry, going for a walk without music. These boring tasks are actually great for your brain because they occupy just enough of your attention to free up the rest for creative thinking. Number 4. Schedule nothing time. Seriously, block 10 to 15 minutes in your day for doing nothing. No agenda, no goal, just sit. Your brain will thank you. Here's the big takeaway. Boredom isn't a sign that something is wrong. It's a signal that your brain is ready to do its best work, if you let it. In a world that's constantly competing for your attention, choosing to be bored is actually a radical act, and a really smart one. So the next time you feel that restless, itchy, I'm so bored feeling, don't reach for your phone. Wait it out. See what your brain comes up with. You might be surprised. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe. We talk about brain science and productivity stuff like this every week. Drop a comment below. When was the last time you were truly bored? I'd love to know. See you in the next one. Bye.